Hi guys, look. I like the dove, but I don't like that. I don't know what that's all about. It's like loading. I didn't even see it. I buy a load of, you know, crazy Mr. Mark. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to Mark Bayeski YouTube channel. I went to Bangkok the other day and bought a year's supply of t-shirts. These Sure t-shirts. That's how crazy I am. No, that's not true. Strike that last line out. That's how passionate I am about my YouTube channel and sharing my shirts and my happiness with you guys. So yeah, I went to Bangkok, where I got these shirts a few years ago, and because it's so close to Bali, it's only a few hours, and hopped off, went to the company, bought 100 or maybe 200 shirts, because they're really good, yeah, really nice, they wash really brilliant, and they're going to be all set up now for next year, for well, no, for now. So you're going to see lots of new shirts. Yeah, I know you don't watch it for the shirts, but it's kind of like a trademark now, right? So there you go, look at the dove. I like the dove, don't particularly like the blood on it, like, but there you go. Always found that bizarre, right? The body of Christ, amen. And I remember being a kid saying, oh, I'm going off on one now, but I actually remember thinking, the body of Christ, you mean I'm actually being somebody who's eating somebody's body? Is that what this is about, to eat somebody's body? It kind of really weird, you know, but is that a metaphor, you know? I really struggled to understand that. So every time I stuck my tongue out to take this wafer, yeah, I'm not going to say it. I used to say a joke when I used to say it. I think I made light of religion because I couldn't really absorb or understand religion at all. It was very, very difficult for me because I guess now, looking back as a kid, I used to look at things in a different way than others. So it was like, if it didn't make any sense, then I'd kind of cut it off or make a joke of it. And of course, there was many times I got into terrible trouble for questioning, you know, drinking the blood of Christ. I mean, you know, what? So I couldn't comprehend it, and then because I couldn't comprehend it, there's no way I was going to accept it. So as a kid, what else can you do? So I rejected it, and I didn't just made a joke of it, you know. So I remember used to saying to my friends, I'm looking forward to drink some blood today and eating somebody's body, you know, and just as a joke, because I you know, maybe what I'm saying is really today is that for some of you who've watched this video, these videos for the past few years, I think one of the things that you often say to me is that, Mark, you make sense. And I think to a degree it's not making sense, it just feels right. And what feels right feels right. And what feels wrong feels wrong. And I'm not somebody who just accepts things because somebody's told me it. And I don't care if 1,000 people tell me the same thing. It doesn't make something right. So if something feels right to me and I listen to it, then I think, okay, that makes sense, that feels right, and I go with that. So I've never been one to go with the herd, with the sheep. I've never followed. I've always been an individual, and you know, that can be a little lonely. It can be a little difficult, and I suppose that leads really nicely onto the topic of conversation today is leaders who bully people who are at a very vulnerable place in their life. So I'm going to pour my coffee this morning and talk to you. So yesterday was really interesting because I went for a colonic, my second one, and raw honey, just have a little bit. It's really good for you. So I went for my colonic, and after I came out and I sat down on a table on my own, out of the way of everybody else, because it was a big place and it's a spiritual place, and I'm sat having my coffee, going through some of the messages day to day, and then a group of 15 people came and sat right next to me. all different types, girls, boys, and they were ranging from about in their 20s to in their 30s, I would have said. So they're fairly young, and they sat down, and this guy, who I presume works at this big place, introduced himself, and I couldn't help overhearing, and he says, "I'm your spiritual coach, team leader," he called himself, and I'm here to take you through I think he said 15 days of da-da-da. So I couldn't help but listen, and I was listening to what he was saying, and these beautiful, fresh, wonderful people who have travelled the whole of the world were now listening to this man intensely, as you would. And he started giving them a breakdown of what he expected of them. That was one of the words he used, expected. That really rings alarm bells for me instantly. Then he went on to taking 2 sheets of paper out, and he started saying words like, "you have to," and "this is the only way." And he was using all these words, and I was sat there, and I started feeling really, really sick. I started feeling like I was heartbroken. And what I was watching was a group of young people who I could feel intensely heartbroken, in a bad place. They're lost, they don't know where they're going or what they're doing, and they'd come to this place for spiritual guidance. Now, there is a difference between guidance and forceful. I can't use guidance with forceful, so I'd say forceful. What could we say? Forceful demands. Because if you don't, then you're not doing it right, and if you don't, then you shouldn't be here. That kind of energy. It started feeling more like a boot camp, and maybe it was a boot camp, maybe it was, I don't know. Maybe part of the curriculum of these 15 days was you do as you're told, and don't speak and listen to me. And maybe some people need that. But oh my God, I started feeling heartbroken, and you know what? I started feeling of memories coming back of me being at school again, trapped. And those feelings, and you probably know this, when you woke up in the morning, most of you probably felt trapped and felt like you were going into prison. And you were literally going into a prison. School is literally a prison, but the bars are invisible, you don't see them. And the reason why is because your free will is taken away, and you have to obey. Basically, obey means that you have to copy. You have to memorize everything that's being told to you. So there is no free will there. There's no way to express yourself. There's no way to bring out the best of you. Now, I've just done a 7-day retreat with 23 people. And through that retreat, and you can ask anybody, I don't know if a few of them will be on here watching this, because I know quite a lot of the people who came to that retreat came because of the YouTube channel. So if they're there, then maybe they can be honest enough to tell the truth. And so I would say to you guys, please share the truth. How did Mark behave with you? Did Mark tell you what you should and shouldn't do? Did Mark ever force you to do anything? Did Mark ever push you to think about something that you must do? Or did Mark share his message with you and allow you to digest that and make your own decision to use that, or to say, actually, that doesn't feel right, but it's helped me because I'm now going to do this. So everything that was shared to you was a way for you to find your truth and your strength and your power. So, let's get back to this guy. This is where it got really intense for me, and I had to leave. There was a girl who put her hand up and she asked a question, which was a question that I'm not going to say what it is, but it threatened the team leader, the spiritual guru's integrity. And he stood up and smashed her down into like a little tiny little Tom Thumb character with his abuse. And this overwhelming sickness of me being at school and my teachers screaming at me or making me feel stupid happened, and I had to literally get up and walk away. And the reason why I did that, and you might think, why didn't you stand up for it? But you know what? I'm starting to come to terms with a lot of things in the world, that if we come into this world to experience everything, then what I'm doing is I'm stopping her experience for her to feel that, and then to make her own mind up to whether to continue along a journey listening to these people who force feed them spirituality or self-help, which goes against their gut feeling. So I'm starting to honour that and say, you know what, that's their path and they need to figure this out for themselves, not interfere. So a lot of the times when you used to come to me over the years for a psychic reading, or I call it a spiritual reading, there were certain things that I would never say because that would be interfering with your journey. And it wasn't things like you're thinking, oh, he's not going to tell me bad things, he should have told me the bad. No, I'm talking about certain things that I felt, no, this is for you to experience and learn, and you have to go through that. The time that when I gave readings was when I saw things that might be a little challenging, but explained why they would be challenging and how best to handle that. That's a good reader. Not one that says, oh, don't do that, you shouldn't do this, don't do that, because then again, it's force energy. You're forcing your stuff onto other people, and maybe that's their journey and they have to experience certain things. So we have to honour that. So I walked away from there. I felt heartbroken because I saw these younger, well, I kind of felt they were the same age as me, but they're now looking back, they were in their 20s to 30s, but I feel like I'm 20 anyway. So, and I thought, you know what, that was me once. And I don't know whether it's age or not, but I don't think I've ever had a conversation like that with anybody. Nobody's ever spoken to me like that. And I don't think I would ever allow anybody to speak to me in that way ever again, or tell me what I should and shouldn't do. So I guess what I'm saying is, I'm really proud of myself because I practice what I preach. And I think that's really, really important that we understand that, because a lot of us don't practice what we preach. A lot of us look and see fault, and then we do that, what we're putting fault, we're looking at, oh my God, that's terrible, and then we actually do that ourselves, or we do something similar, but that's okay because I do it, it's okay. But if she's doing it, it's not okay. Do you know what I mean? So one of the things that I've come to terms with in my life is that I've come to recognize my faults and what I do and what I should and shouldn't do. So I kind of felt proud of myself when I rode off on the bike and thought, you know, for the 23 people who came, I think I did in my own humble opinion, I think I did a good job in the way of non-force and just sharing my love and my experiences for them to grasp what they needed to, and utilize that in their own journey and make their own decisions to wake up on whatever they need to wake up on. I've always said this, guys, you know, you can be a parent and you can say to your children, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that, and then one day after 5 years they can be sat with somebody else that they've never met, and then what you've been saying for 5 or 10 years, this person tells them, and then they go, oh, you're right, and you think, well, I've been saying this for 5 years, 10 years, but I think there's something in that. I think it's so important for us to allow our children to experience what they need to experience, and I think when our children are ready to overcome that, what they shouldn't do, they recognize. So whether that's with you or whether that's with a total stranger, I think it isn't a stranger, it isn't you, it's just their moment. Does that make sense? So if your mum or dad used to say to you, don't do that, you're going to do it, and you're going to be stubborn, and you're going to feel like I'm going to do it. I don't think it is stubbornness. I actually truly think it's more heightened awareness of your spiritual journey. So you have to go through that until you understand what that feeling is and why you shouldn't do it. But actually, I should do it because I need to feel this to be able to know what that is I shouldn't do, right? So let your children get on with it. Let them do what they do, but be there for them if they fall and when they're ready to get back up, and support them the best you can. And I think that's for any true guru out there who claims to be a self-help teacher, who claims to be spiritual. I just want to send you this message. Practice what you preach, and really think about this. How would you like it if you were forcing your stuff on people, telling you what you should and shouldn't do? I bet you're the first person to turn around and walk away. So I think we should take a leaf out of the book of non-forceful, book of non-force. I should write that. Yeah, that's going to be my next book then after these. I'm going to write a book about not forcing your stuff on others. I think if we learn to do that and learn to accept everybody's life for what they do, within reason, guys, you know what I'm saying? Don't start to bicker now and start to pull at me and say, yeah, but what about the people who kill people? What about the people who do drugs? And you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in general, okay? Of course there's extremes, but, you know, to a degree, you know, for me, if you ask me if I see a man hitting a woman, of course I'm going to go over and say, no, please don't do that, stop. But I'm not going to smash him in the face, right? Because that's the same as what I said about this guy who's telling these people what to do. You know, it's force. It's been as bad as what you're trying to teach people not to do. So ultimately the message today is that any true enlightened soul knows that each of us are as powerful as anybody else. Therefore, what we should be doing is bringing out their power and making them realize who they are and how magnificent they are, instead of giving them rules, regulations, telling them what they should and shouldn't do, because then they become pupils and then you put them down, so like they're like a school child again, and they're not. Don't treat people like school children. In fact, if I could change the world today, I'd get rid of schools with the system the schools are in and bring equality to children and teach them as they are amazing, powerful, genius souls that we nurture to be the amazing, powerful souls that they are when they're born. But we don't, guys. We tend to pull people down. We tend to use a system to suppress children from their true power. And thus we are now in a world of people who are fearing, frightened. Tell me what to do. What should I do? Tell me what tablet I need to take. Tell me where I should go. I don't know what to do with my life. Yes, that's because of the system. That's only the system that's done that to your parents, your grandparents, and you. But I think what I try to do is shift that and tell you to stop looking for teachers, stop looking for answers. It's all right where you are. You are your answer. You are your power. You are your guru. You are your God. Whatever you want to call yourself, goddess. I don't care what you call yourself, but I'm telling you this. The day you stop looking for other people to teach you what you should and shouldn't do, the day you stop looking for people to confirm that everything is okay, the day you stop asking people to tell you what you need to do and where you need to go, will be the day you become your guru. No one has the power over you. I love you all, from my heart to yours. Be the most amazing soul that you are. I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Trust me. But you say I don't, then welcome to my world. Well done. That's it really. Have a great day. I love you all. Thank you for subscribing to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. From the Art Cafe in Ubud. From my heart to yours. Have a great day, guys. I really mean that. And thank you once again last night for going to markbajerski.com. You bought some beautiful crystals again, some great, what did you buy? Kavansai, rutile quartz I saw, 2 Moldavites. Yeah, go on, go right. One person sent me a message that they can't handle a Moldavite. No problem at all, no problem at all. See, however you feel. But let me tell you something, if you'd have carried on, it would have all disappeared and you would have been stronger than you could possibly imagine. Sometimes it's climbing to the top of that mountain and then you realise what you've conquered. Sometimes we slip and go back down. No problem. It's called life. Have a great day, guys. Each to their own. Good luck, and maybe you'll find another crystal. Take care, guys. Bye.